Paul Carter used to believe life rewarded people quickly. He thought hard work always produced fast results. He thought dreams had deadlines. And he believed that if success didn't happen early, it probably would never happen at all. That belief slowly destroyed him. At 32 years old, Paul worked the night shift at a grocery store outside Houston, Texas. Every night he stacked heavy boxes under bright fluorescent lights while listening to managers complain about speed and customers complain about everything else. Meanwhile, online, everyone seemed to be winning. Old classmates posted luxury apartments in New York. Friends uploaded engagement photos on beaches in California. Young entrepreneurs bragged about retiring at 29. Paul watched all of it from a tiny apartment with peeling paint and unpaid bills sitting on the kitchen counter. Every morning after work, he drove home during sunrise while construction workers, office employees, and college students filled the roads. And every morning, he felt invisible. The hardest part of being stuck isn't failure. It's feeling like life is moving without you. Paul stopped attending reunions because he hated answering questions about his life. What do you do now? You still at the grocery store? Man. I thought you had bigger plans. He laughed it off in public. But alone? Those words stayed in his head for weeks. Some nights he sat in darkness without turning the lights on because he felt too mentally exhausted to move. He wasn't lazy. That's what made the pain worse. He was trying harder than anyone knew. Every night before work, Paul studied online courses for hours. Marketing, branding, editing, sales, business strategy. His laptop was old and slow. Sometimes it overheated and shut down in the middle of lessons. But Paul kept learning anyway. Because deep down, he still believed his life could change. He just didn't know when. One Friday night during a heavy storm, the grocery store became extremely busy. Customers rushed inside buying supplies while employees struggled to keep shelves stocked. Paul worked nearly 12 hours without a real break. By the end of the shift, his back hurt so badly he could barely stand straight. At 5:30 in the morning, exhausted and emotionally drained, he sat alone inside his car while rain hit the windshield. Then his phone vibrated. A notification. Another former classmate announcing success. Proud to announce I just bought my dream home at 31. The post included smiling family photos, expensive furniture, and comments filled with congratulations. Paul stared silently. Then he looked around his own car. Empty coffee cups. Wrinkled uniform. Gas tank nearly empty. For a moment, he felt like a complete failure. That morning he drove home in silence and did something he had never done before. He packed away his laptop. No more, he whispered. He was tired of hoping. Tired of trying. Tired of feeling behind. He told himself maybe ordinary life was all he deserved. For 3 days Paul avoided studying. He went to work. Came home. Slept. Repeated the cycle. But something strange happened during those quiet days. He felt worse. Not because of the hard work. Because he had abandoned a version of himself that still believed in more. On the fourth morning, unable to sleep, Paul walked into a small diner near the highway. The place smelled like coffee and pancakes. Country music played softly from an old radio near the kitchen. An older man sat at the counter reading a newspaper. Paul ordered coffee and sat beside him quietly. The old man glanced at Paul's tired expression and smiled. "You look like life's been rough lately." Paul laughed weakly. "Feels like everybody else figured life out except me." The old man folded his newspaper slowly. "Let me tell you something," he said. "Most people quit before their season arrives." Paul looked at him carefully. The man pointed outside toward a bamboo plant near the parking lot. "You know bamboo spends years growing underground before anything appears above the surface?" Paul shook his head. "For years, nothing happens. People think it's dead. But underneath, roots are spreading, preparing for growth strong enough to survive storms later. The old man leaned closer. Some lives work the same way. Paul stayed silent. Then the man said words that would stay with him forever: stay patient. Your time is coming. Something about those words felt different. Not motivational. Not fake. Real. For the first time in months, Paul drove home feeling slightly lighter. That day he reopened his laptop. Not because he suddenly became confident, but because he realized something important: he didn't actually want to quit. He only wanted the pain of slow progress to end. So he made a decision. Instead of obsessing over outcomes, he would focus on consistency. Small progress. Every day. That became his new lifestyle. He deleted social media from his phone. Stopped comparing his life to others. Stopped announcing goals. Stopped seeking validation. And quietly, he started rebuilding himself. Every morning after work, 1 hour of study. Every weekend, practice projects. Every month, improvement. No audience. No applause. No attention, just discipline. Months passed. Then another year. Still no huge breakthrough. Most people would have quit by then. But Paul began noticing something powerful. He was changing. His mindset became calmer. His skills became sharper. His confidence slowly returned. One afternoon, a local coffee shop owner complained online about struggling sales. Paul messaged him and offered free marketing help. The owner agreed. Paul redesigned the business page, created better advertisements, and helped improve online visibility. Within weeks, sales increased. The owner became excited and referred Paul to another small business owner. Then another. Then another. For the first time in years, opportunity finally started knocking. Paul worked grocery shifts at night and freelance projects during the day. He barely slept. Some days he felt completely exhausted. But exhaustion feels different when purpose is attached to it. At 34 years old, Paul finally quit the grocery store. Not dramatically. Not with celebration. He simply removed his blue work badge, placed it on the manager's desk, and walked outside into the morning sunlight. And for the first time in years, he felt free. He sat in his car afterward and cried again. But this time, not from hopelessness. From relief. Because all those invisible years had finally meant something. His freelance work slowly turned into a real marketing agency. Nothing happened overnight. That's the part people never understand. Success looked sudden from the outside. But Paul knew it was built during lonely nights nobody saw. The nights he studied while tired. The mornings he kept going despite doubt. The weekends he sacrificed comfort for growth. That's where his future was truly created. By 36, Paul spoke at business events across different cities in the United States. People listened carefully as he shared lessons about patience, discipline, and perseverance. One young man asked him after a speech, "How do you stay motivated when nothing is working?" Paul smiled softly. "You stop focusing on motivation," he answered. "You build habits strong enough to carry you when motivation disappears." The room became quiet. Because deep down, everyone knew he was telling the truth. Motivation is temporary. Discipline changes lives. Years later, Paul bought a peaceful house outside Denver, Colorado. Nothing flashy. Nothing designed to impress strangers online. Just peace. A quiet backyard. Large windows. Morning sunlight. Bookshelves. A small office where he could work calmly. One evening, sitting on the porch during sunset, Paul thought about the younger version of himself crying inside that grocery store parking lot. Back then, he thought life had forgotten him. But now he understood, life was preparing him. The struggle built endurance. The waiting built patience. The failures built wisdom. Without those difficult years, he would never have become strong enough to handle success properly. Sometimes blessings arrive slowly because character takes time to build. That's what people miss when they compare timelines. Some people bloom early. Others bloom later. Neither is wrong. A flower that blooms in winter is no less beautiful than one that blooms in spring. If you feel behind in life right now, if your progress feels invisible, if everybody around you seems ahead, remember Paul. Remember the bamboo tree. And remember this truth. Slow progress is still progress. Most people fail not because they lack talent. They fail because they stop too soon. Your current season is not your final destination. One day the struggle you survived will become the story that inspires somebody else to keep going. One day the pain will make sense. One day the nights you spent doubting yourself will become proof that you survived difficult seasons without giving up. And one day, when success finally arrives, people will call you lucky. But you will remember every lonely sacrifice they never saw. The tears. The setbacks. The silent battles. The mornings you kept going while exhausted. The moments you almost quit but didn't. That is why patience matters. Because sometimes your greatest transformation is happening underground where nobody can see it yet. Stay patient. Your time is coming.